Hello everyone and welcome to this 10-minute yoga practice. Today we're going to slow things down and we're going to be focusing on legs up the wall. So grab a wall somewhere in your house. It could be or your apartment, wherever you live. It could be your door. If you don't have a lot of wall space, it can be your door, or grab a wall. You could use some other props. Maybe you want to put a blanket down beside your wall right here. And that way you could sit on the blanket as we bring our legs up the wall. I don't tend to do that because it doesn't feel great in my body. And I also feel like, for me, I find myself wiggling around a lot when I first get onto the wall. And then if I have a blanket, it's like all bunched up. So you're welcome to try it. If you like it, awesome. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. You don't need to do it. I have this pillow here. It's just in this position because I'm estimating that that's where my head will be. I'm probably wrong, but it's close enough that when I'm lying on the ground, I can grab it and put it under my head. You don't need a pillow, but it's certainly a lot more comfortable when you have one. I'm going to move this plant a little bit so I don't accidentally kick it. And then I'm going to come down to sit on the ground beside the wall. I'm going to take a second here. Lean up against the wall, sing any way you like. Feeling the support of the wall against your back. Maybe you want to take a couple breaths. Today's all about relaxing. If you want to do this in bed, you could totally do this in bed. You could pause this, take your computer, your phone, whatever you're on, and go do this in bed. Is your bed against a wall, or do you have a headboard? Because you could do this there. Or you could lay on your mattress and put your feet up against the wall. It's the side. So I'm going to now move my legs. So I'm sitting with my legs against the wall. My floor is dark, so you might not be able to see this, but these are my pants. And I'm leaning up, touching this wall. So I'm as close to the wall as it possibly can be. Then I'm going to bring my legs up the wall as I lower my torso down to the ground. This is not graceful. It's not pretty. You just sort of have to swing your legs up. I'm going to bend one knee as it sort of helps me to push off. I'm going to lower my torso, raise up the legs, and you're rolling onto your back. And I totally missed my head with this pillow, so I'm going to move it and then bring my hands down on my sides and see how this feels for you. If you want to spend the next 10 minutes like this, you go for it. You don't have to move at all. Legs up the wall is like my favorite thing to do when I'm stressed. I used to have an office by myself, so I could come into legs up the wall in the middle of the day for 5 minutes, and it was the greatest thing. Maybe you want to explore taking your legs a little bit wider. Seeing how this feels. Breathing. They don't have to be like all the way open to the ground or anything, just a little wider. And then maybe you want to bring your legs back up straight. You could explore that. You could leave your legs out wide. Playing around with it. Maybe you want to bring one foot in towards the wall, pushing into the wall and having one knee bent. I find when I do this, it pushes my lower back into the floor, flattens out my spine a little bit. And for anyone that feels low back pain, that might be a little bit of a relief. You could also, if it's like really squishy in here, you could take that foot out a little bit wider and press. You might just feel like a different angle in your back when you do that. And then we can alternate bringing that foot up, pushing the other one in, and again, seeing what that does to your back. If you did it wider on the other side, I recommend doing it wide on this side too. Then it'll sort of put pressure on the other spots on your back. The opposite side. strengthen the arms up. And by arms, I mean legs. Then maybe you want to bring your feet, the soles of your feet together for butterfly. You can do butterfly against the wall. Bring your feet together, and you can leave them higher. You can bring them lower down by your butt. Really, the lower your legs go, the more of a stretch you're going to feel in your hip. And you breathe here. You can rock your knees from side to side. This might give your lower back a little bit of a massage. You can even try to close your knees or get them close to closing on one side and closing on the other side, doing this twist here. We can raise up our feet one more time. Maybe we want to take one out to the side and bring one in towards the other leg. Seeing how that feels. And then we could do the same thing on the opposite side. Bringing the other one in towards the body, seeing how that feels. Bring your legs up straight. Again, you can stay here. If you want to relax here, you go for it. You could think about bringing one foot in towards the body and then alternating that, seeing what that feels like. Noticing if you feel any engagement in the front of your thighs or your quads here. Doing that a few times. And then maybe you want to explore bringing one foot onto the opposite leg and then bending that knee. Breathing here. Seeing how this feels for you. And then bringing that back up. We can do the same thing on the opposite side. Bringing that foot over into that figure four, bending that knee. Breathing, feeling how that feels in your hip. Then we can bring your legs up again. Doing any movements here that you like. So anything we did before, picking which one you want to do. I'm going to make my legs a little wide for a bit. Feeling a stretch along the inner line of my leg, but you could do something else. You could do those figure fours. You could do the butterfly pose, whatever you like. Taking a few breaths. And then maybe you want to start to think about moving the body or not. You're welcome to stay here like this, and then this meeting will just, or like the video will just shut off. Or we can take a few more breaths and then think about lowering our legs. We can lower our legs down to the side one at a time, and then lay on our side for a second. Taking a breath. We're slowly going to come up to seated again. Maybe you want to sit against the wall again. Maybe you want your feet forward. Maybe you want them in butterfly, or you can have it in tree pose with one leg in. Think about bringing our back onto that wall again. Maybe closing your eyes. Taking a few breaths. Noticing how your body feels. Do you feel any calmer? Did your nervous system calm a little bit? How did legs up the wall make you feel today? I want to thank everyone so much for this practice. Hopefully we get to practice again together soon. And feel free to reach out to me at any time if you have any questions.